Dumelang, Abshen, Molweni. Welcome to Cafe Talk with Wonke Mapeyi. Today we are back with another bang. We will bring you two amazing young people who are both coming to two oldest township we have in Cape Town. I will not introduce themselves, I will let them to introduce themselves right now. I don't know whether to start right or left.
And I'll start. Afternoon. My name is Mihlali Mpongwana from Nyanga. I'm a cricket player for the Proteas and Western Province.
Good day, whatever time you're watching this. The name is Mpumelelo Matheba from Guguletu, currently at a college playing a hockey player, provincial and fringe lower team, national team player.
Oh, okay. So we have national team players at our disposal. So I must watch what I say at all given times. I think we can continue. Okay. I think the first question is, what made you to be interested in playing cricket?
Cricket?
Yeah. In particular.
Yes. I don't know how many times I've answered that question, but it's still the same memo. So I started cricket at a very young age. I think I was around 7 or 8. Basically just following people, when there's like a group of bunch of guys playing sports, at school. And there was this program called Baker's Mini Cricket.
Oh, okay, yes.
Yeah, so they used to hand out like biscuits, drinks.
So you like biscuits?
Yeah. So that landed a lot. So I never cared about the game or anything. So that landed like just biscuits and all those things. And until the local coach that like identified me, that he saw potential. Listen, game at the highest level, if you're Funa, but obviously you're gonna have to start small. So he approached me to play for the local club and for the school. So basically that's how I started playing cricket. Yeah.
So just a follow-up question, which school did you attend?
Oh, okay. So primary school, I went to Iskolo Linge. Secondary school.
Accent is not giving.
You see.
It's giving another.
So I went to Elinge primary school. Then obviously I had to change because of cricket scholarship to go to another school, which is a nice school, I think. Yeah.
Okay, I'm coming. I have another follow-up question, but I'm coming back. Mpumelelo Matheba. Yeah. You are playing one of sports that you would not stay a young kid in the township, either in Guguletu, Kaili, Chalanga or Nyanga, would ever think about playing, because first and foremost, there are few facilities you would find of such a sport. So what gave you the interest of playing sport, let alone that part that you even are selected nationally and provincially?
So growing up, I always loved sport in general. My family plays sport. In time alarm, my brothers, both of them, very close. They both played Ebola in particular. And then I also grew up liking Ebola and played Ebola. But then when I got to high school, it wasn't a sport that was being offered. So then I had to play something. They forced you to play a sport in summer and winter. So I played cricket, funny enough, in summer. It wasn't the greatest. And then I played in winter. I had to pick a sport, so I wanted to pick rugby. But then my mom was like, your brother tried and was always broken, and you're not playing that. So then I was left with, I went to squash trials, but I was like, I'm not playing squash. And then my uncle, Ulifa, turns out he used to play hockey, and then he spoke to me about, I don't even remember how the conversation came up, but he said, just go try it. I tried, I was decent, and then liked it, and then once I fell in love with it, just started working hard at it, and then eventually got the next step.
Okay, so you were never in love with hockey at the beginning, but say it was a matter of you not being good in sports, you were juggling from one sport to another. Okay, thank you very much for those responses, gentlemen. Next question. It's not a hard one. the easiest one. Don't give me that look, Mihlali. Maybe let's start this side. Yeah. Let's start this side. You know, when you grow up, especially in our community, that most people feel they do not get enough support from their community and from their families. So is there any role that the community together with your family has played in you wanting to fall in love and pursue hockey further?
Initially, no, in terms of the community, because I was at a boarding school, so I was always at school during the weekends, only came home on holidays. So then I wasn't really in touch with the community aspect until I got to the point where I started seeing some form of success in my hockey career, and then I wanted to give back and grow hockey in the community and give it an option. Because once you get to the high levels, you see that other townships, such as your Langas and your Kailichas, are more advanced in hockey in particular. They're good at every sports. They take care of all of the sports, but hockey was the one where Kukuletu, we don't even have a club right now. We are currently trying to get facilities and sort that out. So there was no support I felt at the start because there was no hockey in Kukuletu, but that motivated me to the point where I want to play a role in aiding the start-up of hockey in the community. But family always supportive. Like I said, my family has been a very sporty family from the start. So it was easy to get support financially, emotionally, even in terms of adapting football tactics and hockey tactics. And
so they teach you to adapt football tactics or hockey tactics. Hey, your brothers, even force some of us to go watch you online when you're playing these hockey games. But yeah, I think something that most communities or most families lack, the support system and the support structure. So I think that's one thing I can pick up to your family and say, hoping that also even those who are watching, who are having their kids who are playing any form of sport, would grow encouragement and motivation to make sure that they go out also and watch them. Mihlali, you come from the most notorious township, Nyanga East.
Yes.
I know it has a cricket team, but their cricket team was not good as a Kukuletu cricket team. I stand to be corrected, but from how I know it, the Nyanga cricket team was weak than Kukuletu cricket team. But that's not the question.
Okay, I'm not gonna answer that.
Yes, the main question mainly is around what role has your community and your family played? Because as I am asking this question, it's congratulating you for being again. It's not the first time, it's becoming a norm for you being selected in the SAA team to represent us. I think you're going to be playing against the West Indies series, so you are going to be representing us there. So it's another achievement. So well done, keep the flag high. But I want to ask
about the role. What can I say? I think growing up, I've always had like a good support structure. I'm speaking mainly of my family. I would like to think I come from a good family that's always supported me in whatever I do, whether it's studies or sport. But I think mainly cricket, they've always been there for me. Mom, dad, sisters, and all the siblings. When it comes to the community, I think Dabanelak Inje, being a young guy, I think amongst my friends, I'm the only one that played cricket. We all played cricket, but I was the one that got to play like provincial cricket. So I think everyone knew me because of cricket. So as I experienced in AMB, so I was always been supported. And yeah, I think it was fair commitment from the community, but I think most credit goes to my family for the support.
Thank you, well done. I think on a lighter note, when I was trying to search for you, wanting your contact to invite you to an interview.
Yeah.
I think I bumped into your brother.
Oh,
And I wanted to say, my guy, we want you for an interview. But someone called his name. I can't recall what is his name. And I said, I know this is not Mihlali. Let me not even bother going to him. I will navigate and find a way how I...
People say we
you are definitely lookalikes. Your brother can take your spot and say, I'm the cricket player if you're not the cricket player. Having said so, the next question, gentlemen, is what has been the reactions of your peers? Do you have friends? Because I don't remember seeing you with people like that. Do you even have friends?
Not that many, not that many.
But you do have friends?
A few, yeah.
That's the first thing. I do not see you as someone who has friends, but how has been the reception of your friends and your peers when they see you like achieving a lot in your sport, and when you had taken a decision that now I'm starting to be serious in playing hockey?
It's funny because as much as we never had a hockey in Kukuletu in particular, as soon as I started playing and getting some form of success, everyone in the community was my first people to clap hands for me in terms of every small achievement that I saw as small, because looking at the bigger goal, everyone else, it was a way bigger thing to them because they don't really know what is good or bad or decent in the sport, but they just see you achieving something and they're always like your biggest fans and applauding you, even though they don't know what's going on. Because there'd be times where I'd be walking with a hockey bag or two or from practice, and I'd get questions of, do you play golf or do you play cricket? Because the bag looks that way and they don't know of anything called a hockey. So it was... So from the friends from in the township in particular were always my biggest fans, even though they didn't know what was going on. And then from school, because we were all athletes of some sort, we all made sure to push each other in terms of, if you see your friend in a different sport making a provincial level, now your goal is, okay, I'm trying to make any national team before him, or I'm trying to get a contract before him, and so on and so forth. So it was nice competitiveness between each other that helped us to improve as a whole. Because now I can say I have friends in almost all the sports that are making it.
So you also have friends in soccer, but you can't play soccer. Mihlali, I think I will twist the question a bit when it comes to you. Because one thing that sets you apart from the rest is that you keep making inroads in a sport that mostly would see it as a white dominant sport. And in Cape Town or Western Cape history, I think we can count 5 or 8 of you who have made it to the national team setup. It's Tamitolegi.
I don't think it's even 8. I think I'm probably the 3rd, if not the 4th person.
So it's, you see, it's Tamitolegi, it's Temba Pavuma,
myself.
It's yourself. Who else? Is there someone else you are missing?
I think that's it from Cape Town, always in Cape Town.
So you see already that brings another dimension to say, what has been your attitude, or what has been the drive that has made you to achieve more?
You see, when it comes to that, when we speak about color or race, I think that's never been my thing, to be honest. I never really cared who plays or who doesn't play. I just felt like as long as you're good enough, then you're good enough to play wherever. Yeah, as I said, it's always like a motivation also, seeing a couple of black African players playing for the Proteas. That just shows that you also, as a black African player, you can also make it. Yeah, but as I said, man, I never looked at color or anything. I just felt like if you're good enough, you're definitely gonna play at a higher level. So yeah.
Nice one. Once you are in that one, we were changing now. Okay. It's you answering. How has it been navigating your passion for cricket, especially growing up, coming from a township that has limited or lack of resources when it comes to cricket. Maybe we have 2 hard balls. And when the hard ball is hit that side, you have to wait and relax and be like, yeah, now it's a relaxing moment. Yeah. So how has it been like? Navigating the lack of resources.
It has been like a roller coaster for me, you know, obviously starting from the townships and then obviously going to like better schools and all those things. I just always like try to find the balance, you know, or like to stay motivated and not let anything get me down. Some sort of a way, and like as I said, like I've always like been fortunate to be surrounded by people who love me, who support me. So I think that's one thing that helped me navigate this journey with cricket. I've obviously had ups and downs, and there were points in my life where I was like, hey, I want to quit cricket because things are not going well, you know. But I learned very quick that not everything is always going to go your way. Not all the time things are going to go your way. So you have to find the balance between the good times and the bad times. So I think that's why I'm still standing here and still playing cricket. Yeah. And
you're not just playing, you're a professional and an international player. So it's not just a matter of playing.
Yeah.
Same question again. The one I ask, how have you, especially you, there's not even a hockey field in Kukulitu. I do not know where you even train when you're at home and how you do things, but there's not even a hockey field in Kukulitu. So how has it been for you navigating your passion for playing hockey and making sure that you keep fit and you're in the same level with your peers who have pretty much most of the facilities and most of the resources that you do not have?
I feel like that's where I was pretty fortunate in terms of being at a boarding school. So in grade 8, I actually wasn't in the hostel until I started playing hockey, and then I realized that I enjoy what I'm playing and I'm going to need more hours to put in, but don't have the facilities, as you said, ECAS. So I had to try and get into the hostel. And once I was in the hostel, I hardly went home. So I was always had access to the school facilities, which did help balance the playing field of some sort. But then when we came home, it was always a mission where in the holidays we would get training programs to stay fit and stay up to shape, where you could blame some of it on the laziness, but majority of the blame I put on it's difficult to stay fit when you have to get 50 rand just to go to and from to go to a Clermont to train for 1 day, and that's 1 day a week. So now let's say if you want to train at least 3 days a week, that's close to 200 rand you're spending in 1 week in terms of getting fit. So you can't do that because there's nothing ekasi, like you said. So it was tough for a short period of time whenever I was at home. But then all that meant is I had to just work harder at the start of a school term when I was at school, or now when I'm at university, I'm always at rest, so it's a lot easier to get to the fields instead of being at home.
I hear you. So that's why you keep playing basketball. You're trying to keep fit. Because I always say you're playing shooting hoops in a electrical pole there by NY7. Is that a way of keeping fit, or?
That's where it's just a love for sport. I don't think there's any sport I haven't tried to play, whether, and then just see if I'm good or not, to enjoy it or not.
No, I hear you. I think the next question, it's one question anyone can choose who wants to volunteer to answer first. What has been your proudest sport moment in your career thus far? You can pick one. Me, I can pick for both of you. If it was for me, I will pick for you, but problem is not for me, it's for you.
I'll go first. It's like a small moment where last year in the provincial tournament semi-finals, we played against Southern Gauteng, and in my first year out of school, I made the under 21 province team, and then we lost in the semi-finals due to an error that was my mistake. So
you cost the team at some point
the gold medal in that year. So that had always been a thing I struggled with mentally in terms of my game for the next 2 years. So then when I finally got to play that same team in that same setup, this time on our home field, where we were 1-0 down, I think, up until halftime, and then where the second half I had a performance at any man of the match for that game that won us and got us to the final. So that was a nice moment for me to get over the hump of that mistake I made, which is what also earned me that call up to the under 21 squad.
So from that game, you told yourself, if we're playing South and Gauteng, I'm gonna deal with them.
There's no way to lose that game.
So for 2 years, you were not.
Yeah, every time there was a situation that was that exact same mistake that came, I always got nervous, broke down, and everything.
Glad that I don't play sport.
I think I have quite a few. I think there's 2 or 3 proudest moments, but I think what comes to my mind is obviously like I think I've been like part of like 4 squads of the Proteas without making my debut. I think the recent one when we went to Pakistan, and like when I made my debut, like seeing people making their debuts, singing the national anthem in front of packed crowds. I think that's one thing that stands out the most for me, singing the national anthem, knowing that you're going to be stepping on the field to play for the first time for the Proteas. And I think everyone says it's something that cannot be taken away from you, regardless how your career goes. You'll always be like a national player per se, if I would say. I think that's one of my proudest moments,
I want to understand when the coach calls you to say, so the coach calls you, when he calls you to say, Mihlali, you are gonna be starting the next game.
So I didn't want to drag the answer because it's part of the same answer that I just gave. So the thing is, with cricketers, so you never know that you're gonna play.
Okay.
So let's say the game is tomorrow. So to the evening before the game, there will be like a small ceremony for you, and like so they will have like a table, and everyone, management and players, sit around the table. So that's why we call Proteas, because of the badge of the Protea, and then there's a thing that's called the Protea fire. So whoever that's gonna make their debut has to light the Protea.
Okay.
Do you get what I'm saying?
No, I hear you.
So everyone sits there, and like so it's either they will play a video of your family, friends, or anyone that's close to you, congratulating you on making your Proteas day. But you don't know any of this.
Oh.
You don't know. So it's like a surprise.
It's like a surprise.
It's like a surprise, and it's trust me, it makes like grown men cry, and like it.
So you also cried.
Well, I'm not a guy that cries, but I was very emotional. Like when I saw my family, they sent a video saying, "Oh, congratulations on making your debut," and all those things. Like everyone that's close to you, and it's a special moment. It's very I don't know how to explain it. I don't have many ways to explain it. But you see grown men crying, and that's how special it is. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it's one of the proudest moments, not only for you, but for young people like us and many other people out there. We draw inspirations from occasions such like that. So seeing someone from the township being recognized and getting their first Proteas cap, and also making sure that they represent South Africa in hockey teams, it's for us something that we can say, at least there's positive in our township. I don't want to lie. Ricardo Tudjo, who's the photographer or the videographer, was the person who sent me the video to say, "There's Mihlali," and I'm like, yeah. I thought Mihlali is just playing for Western Province, only an SAA team, and he's also playing for the Proteas. So really it was a proud moment. I do not even want to ask how was there. You stepping for the field for the first time, obvious, there were nerves and goosebumps. Everyone wants to be the perfectionist. There's no one who wants to do something just for the sake. Whatever you do, you want to do it perfect. So when you step on it for the first time, you're like, ish, I hope I don't do bad so that people can come down on me. But having said that, the next question would be, I think you have answered the next question, but you can also answer it for 1 minute each. When did you realize that now this is not just a dream? It's in fact a career path for me. It's no longer about me going to Baker's Mini Cricket to fetch biscuits and come back home. It's not about me making sure that I just tick the box that there is a sport I'm playing at school just to fill in that. But it's more like now, hockey is my career, cricket is my career. When was that defining moment for you to say, now I'm here?
I think for me, from a young age, like as I said, like I've always like been involved in bigger circles of cricket from a young age. Like I would see like older guys that were playing professional at the time. You know, I think we all different. We get motivated by different things. You know, like for instance, me, like when I saw guys driving big cars and all those things, then I was like, hey.
One day.
Yeah, one day. I don't see myself working an 8 to 5 job, so cricket has to be the only way. So yeah, that was the turning point for me.
For me, I always just went down and played for a couple of years just because the friends I made played. But the moment where I was like, okay, you know what, this could actually be a thing was when I'd always wanted to play for a provincial team. I'd never had the dream or goal of SA because I never believed in myself enough to make SA. So then when I made the first provincial team, then that's when I was like, okay, maybe. And then that's what opened doors for university at the same time where I had universities offering me to go to study there, which felt weird because I felt like as a kid growing up in Guguletu, it was always like, I wish I could get the opportunity to go to university. And now because I got to a certain level in sport, now they're asking me to go play for them. So that's when I was like, okay, maybe, because hockey isn't big in South Africa. You can't make a living out of it in South Africa. The only way you do that is, let's say you make a national team and then you go abroad, which is there are a couple of people right now that play for our national team that play in your Netherlands, your Germany's, your so on and so forth. So that's when I was like, okay, the goal to go abroad is now a real thing. So probably matric is when it was.
Okay. Nice one. I think the next one, it needs you to be motivational speakers of some sort. The next question. There are too many young people out there who also have the talent, who also want to play cricket, who would also like to play hockey. What would you say has been the success drive for you in your sport? And what would you say have been the toughest sacrifice you have made for you to achieve the sport you are in? And also, how can you motivate them to also make it in whatever sport they are playing? It can be karate, can be judo, can be boxing, it can be soccer, it can be netball, it can be tennis.
It's a very broad question.
Yeah, that's why I said it needs you to be a motivational speaker of some sort.
I think to be motivational first, I think to anyone that's trying to make it out there, just don't let your background or your history define who you are. I think we're different. We go through different things, and nobody knows why we go through them. But just never ever let that thing or whatever you're going through, let it define you or keep you down. Just keep striving for more. That's my only motivation. And like, if you want to look at someone, I mean, I'm sitting right here. I'm living that. I'm living that current dream right now. I never let anything define who I am. I'm always trying to look forward and look for more opportunities. So yeah.
Bumi, over to you.
What I would say is, after one flop or one fail, don't give up. It's not supposed to be easy. The difficulties and the falling flat on your bum and the failing over and over again develops your character to the point where once you make it, that'll be what keeps you there. Because what happens with a lot of people is, especially if you have it easy growing up or getting to the top, is you get to the top and you have a big fall, like very quickly. Where if you go through the struggles that you're going through right now, where it looks like you're not going to make it, once you eventually break through, the good habits and the character development you went through in climbing the mountain is what's going to keep you on top. Like, that's the one thing I could say.
Okay. No, I will not disagree or agree with any of you there. It's your own opinions. I think the next question is, there's a topic, as Mumi had said, that I'm close to his two brothers. So there's a topic that one of your brothers likes so much. You would pick it up as I'm trying to shorten the question to say, mental health has been a big problem in our societies, but in particular sport, where people suffer from different mental health situations. Like Bumi gave us something that Western Province lost to Southern Gauteng because of his own mistake, and that made him for almost 2 years to not be himself, always think about the same mistake he has made over and over about. So how do you protect your peace and stay mentally strong under pressure as Mihlali and as Bumi?
In the sport aspect,
Yes.
you take solace or confidence in the fact that you've done this over and over again, and the confidence in yourself knowing that you're going to do it. So to make an example, let's use like cricket, for example, where, I don't know, World Cup final and the ball's hidden up in the air, you had long on, you're about, like, the ball's flying in the air, and now you're nervous that if you drop this catch, the weight of the country is on your shoulders and whatnot. What helps is finding solace in the fact that you've had hundreds of these getting hidden at you at practice before. You've caught it 100 times. So even if you do drop it in that moment, you go in and you pick yourself up knowing that you have the ability and the capability to do this 99 out of 100 times. It just happened to be that one time was the time was needed the most, because I feel like that's what got me out of that slump I was in at the time.
Yeah. Want to get an example about hockey?
I know nothing about hockey. I know nothing about hockey. Yeah, you see, when it comes to cricket is I don't think anyone understands, but it's a mental game, cricket, because you can easily go from hero to zero now. But I felt like with the teammates that I have, there's obviously senior guys who've been through like ups and downs. So I put my ego aside, my pride aside. I always try to have those tough conversations, when it's rough. For example, I had my first rough stint this year, and I couldn't deal with it, so I tried to find ways. I had to put my ego aside and try to chat to guys, the older guys. How can I deal with this? How can I deal with that? And just to find common ground and how to deal with things better. And I think a lot of guys, they're not open to chatting to people, even if it's a psychologist or something. I think it's a new generation. Those things are provided now. It always helps to chat to people and find like different alternatives on how to deal with certain things. That's that, man. And also like any sport, you just have to take care of yourself, take care of your preparation. Then whatever happens, happens. You're not always going to have a good time. And just take care of your preparation and try and compartmentalize everything. That's it, man.
Okay. And I think we are left with 2 or 3 questions. The next question, what is it like representing your township? And whenever you're in the township, you hear young boys giving you names or calling you superstar. How is it like?
I mean, it's nice. I'm speaking for myself now. It's nice, being called a superstar or the next what or our star. It's a nice thing, but I just feel like sometimes it does put a lot of pressure on you. That from where you are now, you can't go down. So that's why I'm like I'm a very ignorant person when it comes to that. I think many people can tell you. I like to keep things very normal. Whether I'm playing for South Africa or I'm playing for Western Province, I just try and stay the same and stay humble, so that I don't let the pressure and everything get to me. So I always try to keep things simple. But I'm not gonna lie, it's a nice thing, like to get recognized for something that you love.
It's humbling and it's a nice motivation. Because for me, I find it weird because I haven't made it to the top, like the very top yet. Because I've made the junior national squad, but I don't have a cap for South Africa yet. Or like I feel like I look at my achievements and I'm like, I've done really well, but I haven't gotten to where I can or where I'm aiming to get to. So it's a nice little reminder of whenever it gets tough or I want to stop or I don't want to go to gym that day, or just that little thing where it's like whenever you get people asking you about how's it going or going on, like just being like, my leader or whatever, just those comments, they're a nice pat on the back, like Mihlali said, but a motivation factor as well because of the pressure that it brings with it.
Okay. Next question is, where to from now in terms of your career? Do you see yourself representing South Africa in the Olympics, World Cup, maybe playing abroad, IPL, playing for Hokies, Netherlands, Australian or New Zealand teams? Where to from now?
I mean, the ultimate goal is to obviously play more games, or I don't know, stay in the system for long. But what's important is taking care of the present, and then obviously eventually things will lead to the future. It's pointless if you're not performing now and then you're already thinking about the future. But obviously that's the main goal, to represent your country for the longest time. So I obviously see myself in a couple of years, or I don't know, God willingly, to play more games for the Proteas, play abroad also. So that's the ultimate goal. But as for now, is to stay.
You don't want IPL?
Oh, who doesn't want IPF?
Oh, I don't want to
No,
I
definitely.
see you're skipping that one.
No, definitely. I just like to take it step by step, yeah.
Someone once said to me, you know, cricket players
Mm.
are taught how to conduct themselves in interview. I'm learning that today. I'm learning that today from you, that you guys are taught on how to do interviews.
So there's this thing called, so especially like if you're a newcomer or growing up, there's this thing called social media training. So we get taught how to answer questions and how to, you know, handle yourself during interviews and all those things. So yeah.
Okay, now I'm picking that up and how you answer your questions. There's a training that, well, even in all kitchen.
And you can see there's no training inside.
I didn't say so.
Goals. I'd say in the next 2 to 3 years, I'm trying to get some form of contract overseas. So that's the first goal, where I want to go abroad, hopefully end of this year or next year, for a short period of time, get experience in playing outside of South Africa, and then moving forward get a more long-term thing. And then the main goal, ultimate goal, anyway, if you pick up a hockey stick, your ultimate goal is Olympics. So I don't know, LA, or I don't know what's after LA Olympics, but one of the next two, hopefully.
Janice, last 2 questions, then we are done. We are going to combine these questions and then we are done. In fact, there are 3. Final words from your side. Who would you like to thank or give a shout out for the journey you have been through so far? And the next question is, if we are to invite you in the next 5 years as the Castle Talk with Wonke Mapeyi, what would have been your picture of achievement you will be representing then? And the last question is, what are your social media handles for anyone who wants to say? I'm not putting you on the spot. That one is, you know, when you have doing an application form, they say this one is optional and this one is mandatory. Yeah. That one of social media handles, it's optional if you want to, but the 2 ones are mandatory. You must answer them.
Yeah, see, that's 3 questions at once.
It's 2. 2 1 are mandatory. Who would you like to give a shout out to?
Oh, okay.
And giving them thanks for your journey so far. And the next mandatory one is that in the next 5 years, if Castle Talk with Wonke Mapeyi has to invite you again, what will be the picture of an achievement you would have achieved then?
Okay. I don't know, it's like a shout out,
Yeah.
Yeah. I would. There's a lot of people. And
all protocols.
I can't name people. Yeah. I can't name all of them and then leave out others. So there's quite a lot of people, but whoever, they know themselves. Just want to say thank you for being part of my journey. Yeah. Thank you. The second one. Yeah, obviously I would love for things to be different in 5 years from now. I'll be what? Wait, 30. I'll be 30 5 years from now. Yeah, just I don't like fame, so I would love to be well known, but I don't like fame. Obviously doing well with my career, cricket or studies, if I still study at the time. But most probably cricket. I would love to be doing well, dominating, first of all, cricket, any cricket fraternity. I would love to be dominating, and yeah, just living a nice life, that's all.
Nice life,
yeah.
Nice enjoyment all the time. Over to you, man.
Same as Mihlali in terms of, I don't want to leave someone out and then it's like, my brother, like I helped you. But I'd say basically my coaches from school, because that's where I started even knowing there's such a thing as hockey in high school. So the coach that brought me up from the start, we had extra sessions. Yeah, he knows himself. And then university as well, where I had a rough 2 years to start off with. And then, yeah, so that would be coaches wise. But then I'd also just like to thank my family though, in terms of staying with me. Because like I said, with the struggles I had in that 2 years, and there was a time where I wanted to stop and was like, it's too difficult anyway, and what's the point, and all of that. But then my family were all my biggest fans, always have been, always will be. So I just want to thank all of them. Again, I'm not mentioning names there. And then goal in 5 years. Firstly, not sport related. Hopefully a degree by then, because damn, I've been studying for a while now. But not that long. I'm not. Yeah.
You're done studying.
Hopefully. And then sports-wise, obviously, like I said, I'm hoping to have had a couple of years full-time playing overseas by then, and in the mix of Olympic squad, or having had one Olympic, or going to go to the Olympics, or one of the two, essentially.
No further questions, gents.
Thank you.
From Kasi Talk with Wonke Mapeyi, we thank you, gentlemen, Sumbumi and Mihlali, for coming and gracing us with your presence. Your contributions and input were insightful. It will assist 2 or 10 or 20 young people out there. But what you must know, that Rome was not built in one day. And ours as Kasi Talk with Wonke Mapeyi is to bring positive stories and bring positive attributes to our township, because now our township are seen as the deadly or no-go zones. But if we have young people like you, then the future is bright. We would like also to give you words of encouragement. Keep on going, stay humble, remain strong. Life is not easy as a book is written. Life has obstacles, has ups and downs. So you will meet obstacles along the way, but as long as you know that your end goal is to be successful and is to make it out of life. So other than that, nothing will happen. From our side, Kasi Talk with Wonke Mapeyi, we are out, but before we are out, we would like to thank our sponsors, Too Much Wi-Fi, for the beautiful banner that we are using for the first time. And as you can see, we are in a nice, new, fresh, lovely studios that we have been hosted by Moja Studios. So we would like to thank both of them. Right now, I would like to say thank you for watching and listening. Kasi Talk with Wonke Mapeyi. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Ciao. Peace.
Tango.
Tango means thank you.